I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Do you feel me? And this conversation just really got to me. So I had to come on this mic and chop it up with y'all and give you my experience. And, what it was is that I ran into one of my old school partners I ain't seen in a long time, man. It's been years. And the thing of it is, though, he was asking me, like, what was going on with me. I told him, I'm working here. I work in logistics and he was asking me about trips that I have been taking. I told him, I went out to Mexico, not too long ago, out in Cancun, and me and my lady was doing our thing, and quickly I start to notice, he start feeling some type of way, start feeling salty about what I had going on, and it kind of like threw me back, make me feel some type of way for the fact that you asked me the question, and I gave you that answer. And now you don't like the answer that I gave you because it's making you reflect on your life and bad decisions that you made. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of confused why you feeling kind of salty and you asking me how am I doing and what I had going on and trips that I have taken. You know what I'm saying? So I was just I was feeling some type of way about that because I'm like, hold up, doc. I mean, I'm definitely blessed. You know what I'm saying? To be in a position where I can do these things, you know, and what I slowly start to realize while I'm having a conversation with this, my OG partner, I ain't seen him in so long. Like I said, it's been years. Coming to find out as we start chopping it up, he been in the penitentiary. He ended up doing like 10 years for armed robbery and some other stuff. And so basically, he was just trying to figure his life out and, get back on his feet. He'd been working here and there, but he really wasn't, to the level of what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So I start to recognize that his insecurity start coming out when we start having a conversation because it's like I'm telling him what I have going on and trips I have taken, and now he start feeling some type of way because it make him look back like, damn, I really, because me and this dude, let me give you a backstory. We basically grew up together. You know what I'm saying? Have very humble beginnings. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a lot, and he didn't have a lot either. But the difference was our decisions were different from each other. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm a saint. I'm not saying I'm perfect. None of that. I'm definitely not that at all. But as I was coming up, I started to recognize, some of my friends was doing, little, small crimes and stuff like that. And I never was into that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really, for something inside of me, that probably was Jesus or something, that was definitely the Lord talking to me somehow because when they was going out doing them little small crimes and stealing bikes and doing different things, I stayed at home, man. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm finna fall back. You know what I'm saying? And now when I look back on it, that was the pattern. That was starting the pattern right there. By him doing little small crimes with the little homies and stuff from the hood. And I didn't do it. So I linked up once they started talking about doing some criminal activity. Even at little kids, I'll dip off. I used to dip off, be like, okay, I'm about to go to the house. I'll be back. And I wouldn't come back. Do you feel me? I wouldn't come back. They'd be like, oh, yeah, we about to go steal these bikes. I'll be like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, you know what? I need to go use the bathroom. I'll be back. And I wouldn't come back. You know what I'm saying? I would not come back. And that was just a little insight because it's like from those small crimes that he was involved in, catapulted to something a lot larger, to where, like I said, I ended up moving. We eventually moved out the hood, and we just lost contact. So when I ran into him again, and he was asking me questions about what I had going on, I told him, and like I said, I started to recognize that he was like really starting to feel. Basically, I felt he was starting to feeling insecure about his situation because like I said, he went to jail for armed robbery, and he did all this time. So he did all this time behind bars, in prison, excuse me. And while he was, spending all that time in prison, I was building myself up in the workforce. I went to college. I didn't graduate, but I did a semester or two, and I started getting into the workforce and learning, working various jobs until I found my niche. But I say that to say this. It's like I went through the steps of in life that I needed to go through in a positive way, and he went through his steps in life in a negative way. Do you feel me? And the thing of it is that, I'm chopping it up with him. I had to stop and check myself as I'm talking to him because I can see, his demeanor was changing. I could see that, he was looking at me like, dang, like I wish I was able to do that instead of making the decisions I made. So you got to be careful of your circle. In my last video, I was talking about that. You got to understand your circle because that will be the thing that hurts you. You know what I'm saying? In the long run, get you some penitentiary time, you know, or something worse than that. So I don't wish that upon anyone. But I'm just telling you, you got to understand your circle. And even with me at a young age, I was recognizing that. I didn't know how to, really explain it. I just knew that I didn't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that was definitely a blessing for that to happen because, like I said, we basically grew up in the same type of environment. You know what I mean? To a degree. But once it started getting to the criminal aspect, I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I'm about to dip over here. Do you feel me? Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. You can share it. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to all my subscribers. I appreciate y'all because my numbers is going up. And it's only because of my subscribers been promoting me heavily. So thank you. I do this for me and you. And we're gonna keep this going. You know what I'm saying? But sorry, I am not sorry for the choices I made in my life. You know what I'm saying? And for me to be where I'm at now, you know what I'm saying? I'm living pretty good, you know. I'm doing all right for myself, you know what I'm saying? I can afford, a taco or two. You know what I mean? I can afford a few things. But nah, I just want to say that, just giving you a little story for the fact that, you know, I don't want nobody, or if you feel like you feel ashamed of the choices that you made compared to your peers, don't be ashamed of yourself and don't feel sorry either. You know what I'm saying? Because regardless what your circumstances is or was, you had a choice. You may not have liked that choice. You may have felt like you didn't have a choice, but you always have a choice. Do you feel? So you got to always remember that you always have a choice. I don't care what the situation is. You know, it's just, it can be, a real rough choice, but you still had a choice. And like I said, with my OG partner that I ain't seen in so long, he had a choice as well. You know what I'm saying? But he chose the life of crime, and I chose the life of working at these different corporations till I figured out what was best for me. You know what I'm saying? So anybody that's watching this that's on the fence, you know what I'm saying, and you feel like that's not something you want to do, just walk away from that. You know what I'm saying? Just cut. Sometimes you just have to cut people out of your circle out, especially if they on some type of negativity type thing. You know what I'm saying? Some criminal activities type stuff. Man, you got to separate yourself quick from that because you don't want to be like YSL catching those Ricos. Do you feel? You don't want that Rico case, man. Cause I don't care how gangster they say they are, man. Somebody gonna tell. Somebody gonna snitch. So you go over here and get you a job and figure it out. Or you can be over there with Young Thug and him. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure it out in the cell block. Do you feel me? You know what I'm saying? And I don't wish jail upon anyone, but at the same time, whatever your situation is, you had a choice. That's what I'm saying. You had a choice. Do you feel me? You had a choice out there, you know? And that's the thing, you know. Everybody want to say, or most people want to say, oh man, it was my environment where I was raised in. Well, that's true. I agree to a degree. But can you say everybody in your hood that grew up similar to you in the same condition as you to a degree, did they all choose the same life that you chose? I guarantee not. So just because you grow up in a certain type of environment doesn't make you that environment. Do you feel me? You know? Because like I said, you can be in the environment, but that don't mean you of the environment. Meaning, just because I grew up with less, just because I didn't have a lot, doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna end up doing crime. Doesn't mean I'm gonna end up doing some type of scam and scam the people. Doesn't mean that I'm just only up to negativity. That's one thing I really hate when people say, you know what I'm saying? I hate to say hate, but that's the truth. I dislike when people be like, oh, because of my environment, I did this. Yeah, that's true, but how long can you say that? When you a teenager, okay, I give you that. When you get in your 30s, your 40s, and you still talking about because of your environment, nah, bruh, you had a choice. Do you feel? You had a choice. You had a choice. So stop making that excuse. Like I said, this is grown man business over here on this mic. When I come on here and put these videos out, I'm talking about grown folk business, grown man, grown woman, grown individuals. Conversation is what I'm talking about. So you can't say because of my environment, I did this because who I grew up around. No, some of y'all are really followers. Some of y'all are really scared of the people or the individuals in your neighborhood. So you choose to be down with the criminal activity that they're doing for your own safety. Let's tell the truth, man. Keep it all the way 1,000 out. Some of y'all really ain't built for that, because you know why? Look at the YSL. All these dudes is talking about gang, 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 gang. I'm sliding for my slime. You know what I'm saying? And the dude Gunner, he wasn't even in jail a year. And he already, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Is YSL a gang? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Do you feel me? So, I don't agree with that. And I feel disrespected when somebody say, oh, I only had this choice. No, that's the choice that you wanted to make. Because you also had a choice to do the right thing as well, to go get a job. And it's kind of funny, right? Because some of these real hardcore criminals, right? They'll be like, man, I don't want to work at McDonald's. I don't want to work in fast food or whatever, right? Some type of low paying job, right? Out here in the Bay Area, especially a lot of fast food places pay up to $20 an hour, right? But a lot of these so-called gangsters and criminals, they don't want to do that, right? So you rather go to prison, right? And when you go to prison, you get some type of job. And usually in prison, from what I have heard, they pay you like 10 cents an hour. So you telling me you don't want to work in fast food where you can possibly make up to $20 an hour, but you rather go to jail when you have another man telling you when to go to sleep, when to wake up, when to eat, when to go outside, and you out there busting rocks down for 10 cents an hour, and you that gangster where you can't make $20 an hour at fast food, but you rather make 10 cents an hour busting bricks, busting rocks down, making license plates for 10 cents an hour? Do you feel me? That don't make no sense. That does not make no sense. You can't work at a regular job making roughly $20 an hour, but you rather go to prison and make less than $1 an hour. Make that make sense. Do you feel me? Make it make sense, man. And that's why I promote positivity on my channel. Because for the ones that want that life, go ahead, man. My hands is up. But let the little homies figure it out. Tell the little homies what it really is. If you're going to be out there doing criminal activity, make sure you tell the little homies what it's really about when they sign up for that. And give them that chance. Give them their own choice. You know what I'm saying? Since you made yours, let somebody else make theirs. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't make no sense. You so gang, gang, gang. You go to prison. You didn't even set up any type of life insurance for yourself. So if something happened to you, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about your family taking care of you. But you so gang, gang. I mean, another thing is too, okay, you don't want to work, right? I mean, that's not the popular thing, you know what I'm saying, right? You don't want to work, right? But at least at a job, if you put in 20, 30 years, you get some type of pension, 401k, medical, dental. What do you get for joining a gang and you do 20, 30 years for them in prison? When you get out, do you at least get dental? Do you get vision? Let me get you some new glasses? I think not. Do you feel me? So that was my little rant there. You know what I'm saying? I just had to put that out there because I need people to really understand their situation and really understand the position that you're in. Because just like my partner who was real salty when I'm telling them I'm taking trips, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here doing this, doing that, you know what I mean? Looking at a house possibility, looking to make a purchase possibly in the future. And he trying to figure it out. And he's in his 40s. Do you feel me? And there's nothing wrong with you trying to figure it out, but when you just now getting out of prison, that's a totally different thing. You know, because I know they do have some type of technology in there, but it's nowhere close to the real world. Do you feel me? You know, it's nothing close to the real world. And my whole thing is this, is that we as a community, we need to strive for better for yourself, for your loved ones, and then anybody that's, looking up to you, especially, if you're in an area where there's not a lot of opportunity, there is still opportunity other than joining some type of gang or criminal entity. There's so many different avenues you can take other than doing criminal activity. Do you feel me? I mean, it just doesn't make no sense, man. And another thing too, I mean, I had to go back here. I just can't let it go. Because with y'all gang dudes, you just really kill me, man, because it don't make no sense. It really don't. I guarantee you, If you take 20 of your most hardest gang criminal activity dudes, women, whoever they are, individuals, you take 20 of them, put them in prison, tell them they looking at football numbers, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years. How many of them won't snitch? I'll wait. How many of them won't snitch? You take 20 of your hardest gang, street block, stop sign, front porch, gang criminal. Tell them they looking at 20 years, 30 years, 40, 50 years. How many of them won't snitch? Do you feel me? How many of them won't snitch? That's what I want to know. Because in my personal opinion, I guarantee you at least out of 20, at least 12 of them going to snitch, bro. 12 out of 20. So you mean to tell me with your gang, Mr. Gang, that's what I'm going to call you, Mr. Gang. You got 20 of your hardest criminals, got the street sign, stop light, tattooed on your neck, talking about take it to trial. That's what, one of them rap songs they got, huh? YSL. Got one of them songs called Take It to Trial. Ridiculous. I had to bring that back up. And then on top of that, like I said, with them 20 individuals, 20 of them, 12 of them snitching. And just a minute ago, I guarantee you, they was like, man, we'll do whatever. Let's ride and slide on them. You know what I mean? We gonna do whatever. But as soon as you looking at them football numbers, oh, how quick that tune changed. Do you feel me? How quick you switch it up? How quick? Oh man, I gotta get out for my family. Wait a minute. These 20 individuals, that's your family. That is your family. These 20 individuals. So y'all sit on your hands and do that time. But the real issue is a lot of y'all really not built for that life. A lot of y'all are just followers. A lot of y'all was just doing it because it was beneficial at the time. You know what I mean? Because when y'all hit the club, if when y'all get jumped, all y'all gonna jump one dude. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, fire on one of y'all, all 20 of y'all finna jump on one person. So it's beneficial, right? But guess what? When you go to prison, from my understanding, it's all on you, bruh. You know what I'm saying? You won't have all them 20 individuals with you. It's you against whoever you fighting against. Good luck. Do you feel me? Now, I know I'm switching up the topics, going back and forth, but it all linked together. You know what I'm saying? Because the theme of this is that if you know you're not about that life, deep down inside, you know you really not about that life, don't get in that life. Because you can look at the Young Thug situation and a whole lot more. I'm not just trying to focus strictly on that situation, but in general, I am speaking. That criminal life is not the right way to go. There's way too much opportunity out here, regardless of your circumstances. There's a lot of opportunity. And I understand, when you look at the videos, the movies, you see how cool it look when they pulling up in them big bodies, foreign this, foreign that. But just know you can still get that foreign if you know how to do real estate, stock market, work for major corporations, have a degree. You know what I'm saying? If you go to school, you could be a doctor, a lawyer, a firefighter. I mean, it's so many different avenues out here where you could still make good money without ever doing any criminal activity. Especially when you know, yeah, you right there, when you know you ain't built for this life. You're not built to do 20, 30 years in prison for your homie, for your street corner, stop sign, front porch. Do you feel me? When you know you're not built for that. So instead of you going through that, destroying your life, let's say you get out, you go to jail when you're 20, you get out when you're 45. You just now starting your life over. And you just like my partner that I just mentioned earlier. Do you feel me? It's all about elevating yourself, understanding your situation, and making sacrifices so you can put yourself in a better position for yourself first, your family, your community. You got to believe in yourself first. Because just because you may not, grew up with a lot, just because you didn't have the right people around you, don't mean that you have to only choose negativity. Doesn't mean that you have to choose a gang. It doesn't mean you have to choose criminal activity. Do you feel me? And that's why I stress it's all about self motivation. Because at the end of the day, you had a choice. You may not have liked the options. You may not have liked the situation, but you still had a choice. Don't allow others to make that choice for you. Because 9 times out of 10, they only looking out for themselves. Do you feel? They only looking out for themselves. And another thing too, since we on this on this jail conversation, be on the lookout for a lot of these individuals where if they love going to prison. Because another thing I don't like, be honest with you, there's a lot of these individuals saying, man, I don't mind going to prison. I don't mind doing 10 years, 20 years. Okay, you don't snitch. Okay, I give you that. But why are you so comfortable going to prison? Like, from my understanding, you two, you in a cell with another guy, right? Another individual, right? Y'all sleeping on bunk beds. So you mean to tell me two grown individuals sleeping on bunk beds, okay, and then when you use the bathroom, it's right in the room. Then you got another individual telling you when to wake up, when to eat, when to sleep, when to go outside. Oh no, you can't go outside. Like, I'm a fly individual, man. I never like those type of terms. I like to be able to come and leave whenever I feel. So be wary of any individual that loves to go to prison, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that don't sound right, man. It sound like something, you might need to go see some type of, therapist or something like that. Because that don't make sense. I can't fathom the reason why anybody would feel comfortable saying they got to go to jail and it's like it's nothing. Like, for real? You don't mind somebody telling you what to do, how to do, and how you should do it? Do you feel like I'm kind of confused by that? Then y'all sitting up and talking in the cell, about who may possibly getting shanked, who the booty goons. It's like, whoa, nah, bruh, that ain't the life for me, man. You know what I'm saying? I am not into criminal activity. I'm not a jail type dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm not interested into knowing the actual layout and how everything is ran. No, I'm definitely not interested. I'll pass. Do you feel me? I'm not interested, man. I'm not interested. So definitely really pay attention to how people talk, especially talk to you about situations and depending on your state, when it comes to criminal activity, you definitely want to separate yourself because you don't want to have nothing linked to you. Because like I said, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I talk about a clean face. That's part of a clean face. Where you don't have any jail record, you know what I'm saying? And things that could hinder you from, excelling, whether you working or trying to work for a corporation or you want to build up your own business. It's very important to keep a clean face. And if you want the full detail of what a clean face is, go back and watch my videos. Because I'm giving you the sauce on the mic, man. I'm giving y'all the game, the best of my ability from my life experiences. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully it's something that you can gravitate to and appreciate, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, like button, and leave a comment as well. If it's anything that I'm bringing to you that you appreciate, go ahead and please subscribe to me. Hit that like button, leave a comment or two. I really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? And I just had to come on this mic and say a little bit. This video won't be that long, but I just had to leave that out there. I'm sorry, but I'm not really sorry. You know what I'm saying? Because the choices that I chose to make were positive choices. I chose to do something different than my environment that I was brought up in. So I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Do you feel